Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another book review. So I realized the other day that a lot of the book reviews that I have been filming over the last few months, I guess, are young adult books. And since those are not the only books that I read, I've decided to branch out a bit and do a book review on one of the historical fictions that I've read lately. If you see me keep looking down, it's because I have notes written off to the side so I can remember what I wanted to say. But today's review is on the book We Were the Lucky Ones by Georgia Hunter. This is her debut novel. This is the first one that she's ever written. In the spring of 1939, it is the spring of 1939, and 3 generations of the Kirk family are doing their best to live normal lives, even as the shadow of war grows closer. The talk around the family cedar table is of new babies and budding romance, not of the increasing hardships threatening Jews in their hometown of Radom, Poland. But soon the horrors overtaking Europe will become inescapable, and the Kirks will be flung to the far corners of the world, each desperately trying to navigate his or own path to safety. A debut novel of breathtaking sweep and scope that propels readers from the jazz clubs of Paris to the farthest reaches of the Siberian Gulag. We Were the Lucky Ones is an extraordinary tale of love and hope in the face of one of the 20th century's darkest moments. Now, so to start with, we're going to discuss characters. I'm going to try to explain this the best I can. This book is the story of one family, the Kirk family, and it jumps between the perspectives of the 5 children, their spouses, and the parents. So you need to pay close attention when you're reading, because the top of each chapter will tell you who they're talking about. Like, example, this one, Mila and Felicia. It says who you're reading the perspective of, and the date said it's supposed to be set in. The beginning of the book also includes a family tree to help break it down a little bit better, which I very much appreciate because without it, I'd be a little lost. But yeah, there's a family tree, all the kids, and the parents. It does tell some of their significant others and things like that, which helps because some of the chapters, the tops of them, are not just on the kids, they're on the significant others. And if you can't remember who's with who, you get lost for a few minutes while you try to remember, okay, where were these people last time I read about them? So, it's a little confusing. Now, I'm not going to discuss all the characters in the book in this video, so it might be easier to read the book if you want the full comprehensive breakdown, which you should definitely read the book. This was a good one. I will discuss a few of them. To start with, I will talk a little about Addie because he is the first character you are introduced to in the book. Addie is a 25-year-old composer who is living in Paris when World War II begins. It is important to mention that Addie and his family are Jewish, most of the family living in Radom, sorry if I pronounced that wrong, I'm not good with the names, Poland when the war began. Following Addie, we're introduced to the other members of the Kirk family, such as Mila, who is Addie's sister, and Felicia, who is Mila's 4-month-old daughter. Now, the Kirk family is spread throughout all portions of Europe throughout the years of the war. We follow them to the ghettos, concentration camps for a few of them, the war front for a few of them. It can be confusing sometimes with all the different perspectives, though. Now, some of the characters, it's very easy to remember who they are because Nachuma, that's the mom. It is such an odd name, I noted, that I was always able to remember when I was reading about her and her husband because I've never heard that name before. Which, once again, I do apologize if I mispronounce any of these names. I don't know how to properly pronounce Polish names or anything such as that. So bear with me, guys. I'm trying my best here. So I'm really not going to discuss the plot of the book too much because I feel like the details that I would need to go into to properly summarize the plot would be a spoiler for the book. So I do, however, feel the need to forewarn you that parts of this book could make you cry. And this book will at points make you angry. And it should make you angry. This is a major world event that should still make people angry. But this book is about triumph during those times. Now, I will put out there are some, they're not super graphic. It's nothing very scary. There are some moments in the book dealing with the little girl that'll just make you so sad. I feel the need to have to warn people about that because I know some of the people who read these books are sensitive to that kind of stuff. So if you are forewarning, you will cry. Now, my thoughts on this book are as follows. I thought it was a great story that, by the way, is inspired by real events. The author note in the back of the book does discuss and tell the true story the author based the book on. It's actually fascinating to read it afterwards. Because from what I read inside of it, she tried to keep to the true story as much as possible. She did change a few names only because the names were too similar to each other. Like, pronouncing them, they sounded almost exactly alike. So trying to keep the character perspectives different would have been difficult with those names. I did find the jump between the different characters confusing, especially when I had a hard time figuring out who the spouses were and who went where with who and what, which is why I am grateful to the author for the family tree at the front of the book. That did help him immensely. Overall, I give this novel a 3 out of 5 star rating. It was one of the better historical fictions I have read, and I feel that the author shows great promise with this as a debut novel because she was able to focus on that many different characters' perspectives, and she didn't lose the story. You don't get so wrapped up in trying to figure out who's who that you miss out on what you're reading. No, she does a great job of making it so you can really understand it. Now, will I read it again? Probably not, only because I don't read any of my historical fictions again. Once I read it one time, I usually get rid of it. So this one will be going to the bookstore this week. But thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know in the comments below if there are any books you'd like to see me review or any different genres that you'd like me to branch out in. In the coming weeks, I will have one based off of a autobiography, memoir. I'm not quite sure how well that's going to go, but I'm going to try because I don't usually read that type of book. But we're going to try to review it, see if it turns out okay. So, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!